evening. Do you remember what you were doing back in June of 1986? I was on the air at the time on Chum FM with Rick Hodge, who's here this evening. Hello, Hodgie. And at the time, we were looking for a female broadcaster to join us. Finding the right person had proven to be difficult until one day a young woman came in for an audition, and my life has never been the same since. After dozens of failed auditions with other women, I knew within minutes that Marylin was the one for us. We've been on the air together now for almost 31 years. And while we are two very different people, we connect in a way that family members do. She is the sister that I never had, and I am the brother she never wanted. But Marylin's mother saw it differently. She once said, "You have managed to stay together because you've never had sex." And how she was so certain, I'm not sure. Marylin has star power. When she was 7 or 8 months pregnant with Adam, who's here tonight with his fiancée, City TV did a feature on her for Deanie Petty's City Line show in which Marylin took them through a typical day at Chum FM. And when the feature ended and they came back live to Deanie said, "That woman is a star." Initially, Marylin was hired to do traffic reports on Chum FM, and she would come in from the newsroom 2 or 3 times an hour, read the traffic, and go back. But it didn't take long for all of us to decide that she should be in the room with us all the time. She did not start on the show as a co-host. She made that happen with the strength of her personality. Marylin is funny, spontaneously funny, a great ad-libber, and a great audience. From her early days in university, when she was on air there, to Chum FM and her continued success with the Marylin Dennis Show on CTV, there are very few challenges she cannot meet. Marylin is a trailblazer and an inspiration to both current and future broadcasters across this country. And from what I know of her upbringing, she was taught manners, morals, and ethics that endear her to everybody she meets. Any flaws that she may have are probably as a result of working with me. And I think that one test of someone's integrity is the ability to maintain friendships over many, many years. Marylin speaks frequently about people from her past who she still keeps in touch with. So now, let's take a look at what her friends and colleagues have to say.
Good evening to you. It is 9 o'clock with Marylin Dennis.
And now, here she is, Marylin Dennis.
Spend your morning with Roger, Rick, and Marylin.
This traffic report is brought to you by me, Marylin Dennis.
Marylin Dennis, radio icon, television host, supermodel. Okay, so maybe we lied about that last one there, but just who is Marylin Dennis?
Marylin, what do you have to say?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Orange.
Orange who?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Born in Edmonton and raised in Pittsburgh, Marylin's early interest in radio took her to the University of Idaho to study broadcasting, and she got a job as the first female host at KRPL AM radio in Moscow, Idaho, when she was just 18 years old.
Like, wow, it is 10 o'clock with Marylin. Far out. KRPL Moscow.
One of the moments that I remember was May of 1980. We'd been up for like 96 hours, and at some point or another, there was either a glance or a misspoken word or something that passed between us. Both of us dissolved into hysterical, overtired laughter. There is nothing like that for a broadcast bonding moment.
Marylin's next stop? Calgary, Alberta, where she worked at CJ92.
One day we were talking about the Calgary Stampeders needed cheerleaders, and she said, I might try out for that. And I said, no, Marylin, I don't think so. There's a lot of kicking and dancing. And she said, no, I think I could do that. I went, no, I don't think you can. And the bet was on, and of course, I lost the bet because she made the team. Not only that, she stayed for a couple of years. So if there's a word to describe Marylin, I would say tenacity. Whatever she wants to do, she can go ahead and do it.
After that, it was east to Toronto, where she found her seat working at one of the most legendary stations in Canadian broadcasting, 104.5 Chum FM.
She hounded me for a job, and we had an opening. We were looking for an opening for a female, and doing traffic. And I said, I'm not going to bring you down from Calgary to Toronto just to do traffic. We can't afford to do that. And the next thing I know, one day, She shows up in my office in Toronto, knocks on the door and says, okay, so will you hire me now?
Back to Roger, Rick, and Marilyn and more of Toronto's favorite morning show.
You could see she was going to make an impact on the show early because she was smart, she was witty, and she could fence with Roger and I, and it just made her, the perfect. I became the foil, and she was the hard hitter, and she did it very well. She played that role really well.
As usual, Marilyn Dennis has the last word.
It would have been easier if I'd had brothers.
When you can work with people and have an empathy with people, then you're going to be successful. One of the lines that I like to hear about Marilyn is that she's everybody's buddy. And you know why she is? She's that on the air because she's that in life.
Throughout it all, Marilyn has been our best friend, our girl.
Nobody outworks Marilyn Dennis. What can I say, my dear friend? Congratulations. No one deserves this more than you.
Winning the Alan Waters Achievement Award, going into the Hall of Fame. What could be sweeter for you, Marilyn? Congratulations.
Everything you do with this incredible zest and incredible attitude. I want to congratulate you on this well-deserved honor. All the very, very best.
Congratulations. Nurse?
Congratulations to Marilyn on the Alan Waters Lifetime Achievement Award. We're your #1 fans.
Marilyn, we have so much in common, don't we? We've entertained people for over 40 years. We love Canada. We're proud, proud mothers. But the one thing that binds us more than anything is we're still fucking single. Congratulations.
Marilyn has broken the glass ceiling in dramatic fashion.
She's taught a lot of women to be funny and to be themselves without any artifice, and we all owe her a huge debt.
What they hear on the radio, what they see on TV, everything you hear and everything you see, that's Marilyn Dennis.
She's a professional, she's a role model, and she's my mom. Mom, congratulations on the Hall of Fame induction. From this vantage point, it's pretty amazing what you've accomplished in your career, and I just want you to know I'm so proud of you.
Marilyn, I feel lucky and fortunate to have met you, to work with you, socialize with you for 3 decades. And I'm happy to help present this award to you tonight. But first, I'd like to invite our Vice President of Programming for Bell Media, David Corey, to the stage.
Thank you very much. Marilyn, I am extremely honored to present to you the Alan Waters Lifetime Achievement Award. Nobody deserves it better.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, David Corey. Thank you, Roger Ashby. Thank you all. Very kind. I want to thank Josh and Callista from the Marilyn Dennis Show, and Wade and Siobhan for this incredible retrospective. I got to take a look at it. My life just flashed before my eyes. I want to thank the Waters family, too, because they gave me so many opportunities in radio and television. They are an amazing family, yes, for sure. I remember being called up to Alan Waters' office in 1987 to discuss Marcy Martin's offer of hosting City Line. I had the blessing and support of chums Fred Surratt, who is still my mentor to this day, and I was hoping for the same response from Mr. Waters. The concern was it too much to do the Chum FM morning show and take on the TV show at the same time? And Mr. Waters said to me, well, you can take this extra job, but I want you to be mindful of your family and your health. And that's excellent advice. And remember, he said, as I was walking out of his office, radio is more important than television. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm so grateful to be the recipient of this distinguished award. And when Ross Davies hired me back in 1986, it was soon afterwards that I finally started to understand the significance of this morning show. My brand new radio family in Toronto included my dear friend, my brother, legendary broadcaster Roger Ashby. Sports professor Rick Hodge. Creative director Larry McInnes. Newsman, wow, he's amazing, Jeff Howitt. And producer Tom Jokic. That was our group who soon became my family. It is a blessing to work with all of you, all of you. And I often get asked if I prefer radio over television, and I'm going to defer to Randy Lennox about that one because he's got to deal with both. So when Randy has an answer for that, please get back to me. I get asked the same question, and I know if I would ask that to Rob Farina, he would say radio. Radio is so important. Rob Farina, you put the heart in iHeartRadio. There's no doubt about it. Thank you for being so good to our family. And to my CTV family, thank you. I know some of you are here tonight. I've received constant support and encouragement from everyone while doing both of these shows. You know, I remember a little girl in the 80s who used to call the Chum FM morning show almost every day to play any and every one of our contests. This little kid is now vice president of Bale Media Studios and my TV boss, Nancy McLean. I am so grateful that I had the experience of falling in love with radio in Pittsburgh. I wanted to have as much fun as the announcers do on KDKA and KQV. And guys, I have to share this with you. Today I received a letter from Jack Bogut, the man that I listened to every morning when I was a little kid. He wrote me the most beautiful letter. He's in his late 80s, and he found out I was winning this award. He doesn't know me at all, and somebody reached out to tell him I was winning this award and what a big fan I was. And one thing that stood out to me in this letter was this: 2 of the great blessings in life are to discover what you are supposed to do and then be privileged to do it. He said, you and I share this good fortune. Who knew years later that I would have a young program director named David Corey, who spent part of his childhood in Pittsburgh, who understood my love for radio and my devotion to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thank you to David Corey. I know he's backstage. And Adam Wilde. I wonder sometimes, son, if you raised me, because you're an amazing young man. I love you with all my heart. Thank you for going on this journey with me. You had no choice, but thank you. Well done. I am blessed to live in this country and fulfill the Canadian dream. On behalf of the DENIS family, which now includes Caprice and Jim, we thank the Waters family for this incredible award. Congratulations to all the honorees, especially my dear friend, Jan Arden. Have a great time tonight, everyone. Thank you so much.